Hello YouTubers, NovaScores here, and today I'm going to be doing another game review. And this time I'm going to be doing a game review on my favorite game, my new favorite game, that I just finished recently. And it's a game by the company Bethesda, and it's called The Evil Within. It's an indie horror game released for Xbox 360 and PS4 last year. And it's a great game. When I got it, I got the limited edition version that came with the Fighting Chance pack. Sorry for that notification sound. And it came with this journal of the main character, Sebastian Castellanos. Pretty much there's nothing in this, just blank pages with pictures of characters like Laura Victoriano, the Keeper, various enemies, Joseph. And so yeah, let's get to it then. So this is a kind of a long enough game, depending on how good you are at it. At the back it says, enter the mind of a madman. After witnessing the slaughter of fellow officers, Sebastian is ambushed and knocked unconscious. When he awakens, he finds himself in a deranged world where hideous creatures wander among the dead. Facing unimaginable terror and fighting for survival, Sebastian embarks on a frightening journey to unravel what's behind the evil force. The game is made up of 15 chapters, or levels, you could say. And the story is kind of confusing. The story is told through this game and through 3 other DLCs: the Assignment, the Consequence, and the Executioner. The Assignment and the Consequence run alongside this game. The Executioner is kind of like a sequel-based DLC that takes place after the events of this game. So the story goes pretty much like this. There's a murder at a hospital, pretty much, Sebastian finds out. Him and his partner, Julie Kidman and Joseph Oda, they head to the hospital. Sebastian is in the hospital anyway. He looks through the security cameras, finds his fellow police officers getting murdered by a fellow in a white hoodie. No, not Jeff the Killer. The guy looks at him, teleports behind him, knocks him unconscious, and Sebastian wakes up in some deranged nightmare world, which is a pretty epic game. The man is the main villain. He's known as Ruben Victoriano, or more commonly referred to as Ruvik. He appears quite a lot throughout the game, and he's quite an interesting character. So this world that you're in is a machine called STEM, which was designed to connect people's minds, and they're all in this one world. And basically, pretty much Ruvik, as a child, he was playing with his sister Laura in a barn. The villagers came, they burned the barn. Ruvik was on fire. His sister freed him by throwing him out the window, but she didn't escape and she burned to death. Ruben was then left viciously burned. He comes back later. His father locks him in a basement for some reason. When he gets out, he murders his parents, and then he keeps doing some scientific research, like linking brains and stuff. And this scientist, Dr. Marcelo Jimenez, finds Ruvik, tries to become partners with him, and Ruvik joins Mobius, which is kind of like a shadow-based organization that want to build STEM. So Ruvik ends up building the machine to only work with his mind, and the main people at Mobius don't like that. So they kidnap the main fella in charge, the administrator who's in the DLCs. They grab Ruvik, they tear him apart limb from limb pretty much, and they leave his brain in a jar connected to the machine. But they didn't know that his conscience is still alive in the in like the brain, and he ends up infecting the machine, and he ends up creating his own world, torturing and killing everyone that's hooked up to the machine. And no one has any control over what's going on in the machine. So Marcelo wants to go into the machine to talk to Ruvik or something. But he's too risky to go into the one controlled by Ruvik. So he builds a second STEM machine, a prototype one that doesn't require being hooked up to with a wire. It involves you a ringing sound connects you to the machine, which is very important for the story. He builds this one somewhere else, when he connects himself to it, the ringing also, you hear at the start of the game when Joseph gets a headache. That means that's when they actually got hooked up to the stem. And at the end, when you see Sebastian coming outside of the wired stem, I think it's that after he was connected to the wireless stem, they connected him up to the wired stem for some reason. And his partner, Julie Kidman, who we found out about in the DLCs, is working for Mobius, and her mission is to find a boy called Leslie who's hooked up to STEM. For whatever reason, they can't unhook him. So what they do is she's meant to bring him back to the administrator, but Ruvik, since he can't escape STEM because he's a brain in a jar now, and he's reformed as a ghost in the machine, he wants to escape STEM through possessing Leslie's body, because Leslie's the only one who, for some reason, he can connect his mind with. And the whole game is pretty much Sebastian trying to stop Ruvik from getting his hands on Leslie. However, in the end, that's in vain because Ruvik gets his hands on Leslie at the end of the game, turns him into like this water liquid. It connects with with this brain, and when you kill Ruvik, and when Sebastian actually gets out of STEM, you see Leslie walking away with Ruvik's walk, and people think that Ruvik wasn't possessing him. But the consequence shows that Leslie was being possessed by Ruvik multiple times in the game. So this shows that was Leslie possessed by Ruvik at the end of the game, and that Ruvik escaped from STEM. And if that's not enough proof for you, it says in the Executioner, which takes place after this game, that Ruvik escaped from STEM. I don't really see what the threat of that was, but I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you know. So, out of 10, I would give this game probably a 9.5. I mean, it's a really good game. Some people didn't like it. I don't know why. The weapons are pretty cool. Some people complain about the graphics. The graphics aren't really that bad. They're quite good, actually. I have no idea. I don't really know what else people don't like about this game. They think that the story was told badly because of how they needed to tell it over 3 other DLCs. But, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good game. Whether there's going to be a sequel, we don't know. And nothing's been confirmed. I want a sequel because I think it would explain, because at the end of the game, Sebastian hears that ringing sound again, and Ruvik, or rather Leslie, is gone, which leads me to assume at the very end of the game, when he saw Ruvik, or as Leslie, he was outside of STEM, then he heard the ringing sound, and he was back inside STEM, because someone must have gone back into STEM. And, yeah, I don't really know. But, yeah, Sebastian's a badass character. I mean, he has a crossbow, a shotgun, a rocket launcher, a machine gun, 2 magnums. Yeah, play the game for yourself. It's kind of scary, a bit gory, and but overall, it's awesome. A great, slightly confusing story, and great adrenaline rush. And some boss fights are frustrating, but the majority of them are grand. The only ones I found hard were the Amalgam Alpha, which you see here, that thing there, in chapter 10, and the Qual in chapter 14 was kind of difficult because I didn't have ammo, and because I'm a noob, I only recently found out that you could make explosive bolts for the crossbow from bomb parts, and I had to facepalm myself when I heard that. So yeah, I might be doing another video to explain the story of this game, and then I might be doing a gameplay sometime, maybe with Plasmid Chief. Yeah, I'll explain the story in full detail in another video. I'm running out of time here, so yeah, highlight video, Evil Within, great game, go buy it. That's it. I have to go. Yeah, thank you for watching. Remember, please subscribe. Nova Scorpius out.